are such a genuine gem. Thank you for clicking on my Wicked Winter series. I'm Brooke Makenna, but today's video for the last day of Wicked Winter, I wanted to be a little bit more personal with you guys. Now, I've done some story times this month, but nothing too incredibly personal. And today, I wanted to really go into mental health, mental illness, and how it's affected me this year, and how this year I would say has probably been the worst year of my life. It's been a nightmare of a 2018, and I am so incredibly happy to be moving forward into a new year, and I just want a fresh start. But I want you guys to know a little bit about what's going on, what has been going on, and why uploading every single day this month has been so incredibly important to me, because you guys have helped me so much, and even without even knowing, which is the most beautiful part, because you have no idea what's going on really behind the scenes. No matter how much a YouTuber tries to tell you, you don't know the exact extent. And so I really want you guys to know how important you are to me. But if you didn't know, I did post 31 days of continuous content for Wicked Winter this December. So if you've missed any, there will be a playlist down below that you can check out. And don't worry, there will be plenty of content coming in 2019. I'm so excited to see what's to come. But let's get into my story, I guess. I don't get to say that too often. So my story. So these past few years before 2018 have been very trying, I guess. They haven't been horrid. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to come in here and talk about stuff, because I know there are things that have happened that are much worse that have happened to people, and they so deserve to feel a certain way about it. But I also feel like everybody deserves to be able to feel what they're feeling without being judged for it and being told, you know, oh, well, somebody else has it much worse than you. What are you complaining about? Our feelings are all valid. And so I'm really trying to incorporate this into the new year as well, and not just tell myself, you're fine, you know, get over it, because it's important to think and talk about your mental health. So these past few years before 2018 were very trying, and it's where I have a pessimistic and an optimistic side to me. My parents are complete opposites, so I kind of have both sides to me, and these past few years before this year were definitely making me more of a pessimist. And yes, it has a lot to do with how I dealt with the situation. I should have dealt with it better. I should have tried to be more optimistic, but these situations I was surrounded with when I went to school, my college, my cosmetology school, and then when I went to a cosmetology job right afterwards, they were both very, very toxic environments where everybody around me was negative, and you get into this rut of feeling like you were the only positive person around, and it's hard to keep that up. You can't keep that up for long without completely burning out, and I think that that's what happened. And then coming into 2018, I wasn't in the best mindset to begin with. I remember thinking on New Year's Eve, I didn't believe it was going to get any better this year, and I know that manifestation, if you believe in that, it's all about what you think is going to happen, and I believe in that, but I also believe in your gut instinct, and somehow I knew that this year was just going to be shit, really. Really, I struggled with my mental illness, and it's kind of hard to talk about on here because people aren't very open-minded to it, and if you've never experienced it, you think that it's stupid. And I've met a lot of people who are just like, oh, okay, like when you talk about your mental illness, because they've never experienced it and they don't know how much it really affects you. And it's sad, because I almost wish that there was some way that I could just show them, you know, like on your body, you don't have any scars, hopefully you don't have any scars, you don't have anything physical to show them what's happening, and so you're just kind of like, I'm hurting, but it's on the inside. Can't you see that? Can't you believe me? And it's the hardest thing, and it's never been an easy thing for me to show or to express. But this year it got really bad, as far as I fell into a depression, and that's something I've never dealt with before. The most that I've dealt with is social anxiety, and really feeling like every time, you know, I had to go up to present in class, I would get really anxious. Every time I would go to a new situation with new people I didn't know, really anxious, unless I had my core group of friends around to, you know, anchor me down and make me feel better. But it got to the point where I had bad depression as well as bad anxiety, and the anxiety wasn't even social anymore. I didn't even care about other people and like how they saw me. It was just more anxiety at random times of the day where I was like, I have nothing to be anxious about. Why am I freaking out at this moment? I mean, I will tell you, there have been many times when there is a reason why I have that anxiety, and for a good reason too, but I'm not willing to really go into that right now because I'm not fully healed from it, and I feel like it's something that I'm not ready to share. So I hope that's okay. But it got really bad, and I think it was probably from my depression also, where I take depression in a very weird way, because you think of it and you think, okay, they never get out of bed, they're just, you know, sad little lumps on their bed, and that can be so true, and that's so valid when people do that and are feeling that and need to physically be in their bed because they can't do anything else. But there's also the type of like high functioning person can still get up and move. I was still super motivated because a part in me, I had this like fire within me and passion, especially for when I'm in a bad place that I want to get out of it so badly that I put all of my energy towards something to try to work to get myself out of that place mentally, and when I can't physically, so I just work really hard on something else. And so that's what I do. I'm hyper aware of what I'm working on, and I have to force myself out of bed by saying, you know, you have to do this to make yourself feel better. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes this year I just laid in bed because I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out of bed. And other times I was like, you know what, you're gonna get up even though you feel like complete shit, and you're gonna do this today because it's all you have. It got me out of bed, whether that was good or bad. To tell myself it got me up. It's not something to be taken lightly or to be made fun of or made into this joke that people often do, like, oh my god, I'm so anxious, or like, oh, so depressed, like I'm wearing all black today. Like, people just make it so light, and yeah, we all do that, and that's fine sometimes, but you have to remember that at the end of the day, even though you're making those jokes, there are people out in the world who are really struggling with just living, with dealing with mental illness. And so you can't just make it a joke and then not take those people seriously because of those jokes. My year has just been a complete whirlwind of struggles and mentally struggling. And I think a lot of this year stemmed from me feeling completely out of control, and not just in my life, but with people in my life. I often feel the need to save everyone from whatever it is they're going through, you know, whether they are also dealing with mental illness or whether it's something much darker or much deeper, or whether it's just something small. I feel like I want to help everybody get out of their bad situations, and I hear that happens a lot with people who have struggled and been in such a dark place that you never want somebody else to feel that way, and that's how I feel. And when I see someone around me getting into that dark place or being in the dark place, I feel so deeply that I want to get them out, that I want to pull them out into the light. And it's hard when you realize you can't save everybody, especially when you are in the dark place yourself. You just can't do it, and that's the hardest lesson to learn. And especially because I'm an empath and I feel those feelings of the others, so when they're struggling and I'm already struggling, it just adds more pain to me because I'm taking their pain, or I'm trying to, and that's not healthy. And as much as it's bad to be like, okay, I can't handle your pain right now, I can't handle what you're going through because I'm going through something too, I think it's almost better to do that sometimes and to focus on yourself. But in this society, it just feels very like you're going to be judged for that. Like that's a selfish thing to do, and it's the complete opposite. You have to be selfish sometimes, I believe, to be fully healthy. You have to put yourself first. And I think I finally have started to learn that, and that's why I'm mainly making this video, because I want to keep myself accountable to being selfish in 2019, to putting myself first and knowing that everyone else is going to be okay and I can still help them at certain times, but sometimes I just need to help myself, and I can't make everybody else happy when I'm not. So it's pointless me trying to help people when I'm not really doing anything but making their darkness darker. But especially this month, I have really kind of come into this mindset where in 2019, I want to let myself breathe. For the first time in years, I want to not only just put myself first, but I want to be the best person I can be. I want to be the person that I envision myself being, that I dream about myself being. I want to be that person for myself, for my family, my friends, you guys. I want to be that best person. And I'm ready to be her. I've been waiting for years, and I don't want to wait until I'm 50 years old to finally say, oh, I get to do something for myself now. I want to start doing that now. And I hope that if any of you are struggling with this too, you put yourself first in 2019. And I don't mean being this horrible, selfish, bratty person where you're like, sorry, I can't help you today. I'm doing me today. I mean, still be a genuinely nice human. But in situations where you have a choice, choose yourself. But it's taken me a long time to realize that. And this month, you guys have helped me so much more than you could possibly imagine. This month has been so hard, probably one of the hardest this month and last month, some of the hardest months of this year. And to the point where I have been sobbing on my knees, just wondering why. Seeing you guys just comment back, just liking what I do, and being able to share other people's stories of their traumatic lives that they went through, in a weird way, it helped me just to know that you guys were out there supporting me, that I was doing something good for the world, that I felt like I had some sort of light in the darkness of my world. YouTube, my channel, was my light, even though I talk about very dark subjects. But so I just wanted to make this video today to let you guys know that how much you've meant to me over these past months, over these however many months you've been subscribed. If you're supporting me, that truly is all I could ever ask for, is your love and encouragement. I'm beyond thankful for all of you for being here and for getting me through this year even without knowing. And I am still struggling, and that's something that I want to make known. When a lot of YouTubers make these videos where they talked about how they struggled, they'll say how that was in the past, they're so much better now, and I think, yeah, that's beautiful, that's great, they're feeling so much better, but I think sometimes it's better to let you guys know that the struggling doesn't end just like that and then you're good forever. Like, it comes and it goes, and there's some times when it will go on for a while, and you can be in the middle of something and still choose to change your outlook and to change how you're dealing with it and to hopefully bring yourself out of it sooner. And so right now, yeah, I'm still struggling. I'm still working on being who I want to be. I think going into 2019 is the perfect time to do this, and please don't take that as you have to wait until the new year, but this is just, the time that my mindset has turned, and I want to keep it this way. And not that I won't have, sad moments or moments when I fall back into my old routine. We all mess up, we all are not perfect, but I wanted to make this to not only tell you thank you, but to tell you that you can do it as well. And you don't have to go into the new year thinking, oh, this is just going to be another year like the last. Why do I even try? Why does it even matter that it's a new year? It can be the best year of your life. Tomorrow can be the best day of your life. And although I'm not the one to be telling you all these motivational quotes, I do still like them. I still write them on my Instagram. If you didn't know, I have a writing Instagram. I still speak them into the world because I feel like even in your darkest time, you can still have those light thoughts, and that is what you should focus on. Yeah, I know that I rambled and I probably said things over and over and over again, but I just wanted to let you guys in on how I've been doing this year truly and why you mean so much to me, really. So this video was not to get sympathy, was not to make you wonder what's going on in my life. It was to really just be open with you the best that I can, and to hopefully watch this in 2019 when we're about to go into 2020 and think, oh my god, I did it. Exactly what I wanted to do at the end of last year, I did it. And I am so much happier and closer to being the person that I am meant to be. So I hope you can all say that as well, and I just want to thank you again for sticking with me through this entire month of uploading. You guys are so supportive, so kind, and I appreciate you so incredibly much. But I'm going to stop rambling before you exit off this video because I know I can just keep talking. But also, if you want more personal videos like this, mental updates, in 2019, I'd love to do it for you guys and to just let you in on more really personal stuff, because it's hard being vulnerable, especially on YouTube and the internet these days. People are so harsh. but it's important to keep it open. And I saw a video a while back about Gabby Hanna, or The Gabby Show. She was talking about how open she's been, and yet she still gets so much hate about just her mental health in general, and people don't look at her as a real person that really has feelings. They see her as a person who doesn't care about the hate, when in reality we're all just humans who are suffering in one way or another and trying to deal with that in our own ways. And so I think we all need to work on being kinder. Not any of you, you all are so kind, but just, spread kindness, and hopefully other people will kind of see that and want to be kind as well in the new year, because that's something we really need, is more kindness in this world. More just genuine, sweet souls. I am gonna stop now. Don't ever forget to speak up. Your voice is powerful enough, and I love you to absolute pieces. For the last time of Wicked Winter, bye.